For Comedy Hype News, I'm Ramil Thompson. Not many child stars have been able to evolve into adult actors in the entertainment world. Acting for youth generally seems to have a short shelf life. Very few have had continued success and admiration in their adult life. These roles will cement their place in Hollywood and give them a lifelong place in the hearts of many fans. Ernie "Sunshine" Sammy Morrison has been credited as the first black child actor of prominence. Not only was he an actor, but also a comedian, vaudeville performer, and dancer who captivated many audiences with his excessive talent, charm, and wit for decades. He was best known for being the only black child on the hit film series East Side Kids in the 1940s, as well as his appearances in the 1920s silent film series Our Gang, which became better known as The Little Rascals. Additionally, he is frequently touted as the first black person to ever receive a long-term film contract. With a career spanning over 50 years with numerous credits, Ernie's talent is one that lasted a lifetime. However, he would give up on fame, fortune, and popularity on several occasions throughout his career in order to chase other dreams. This is Ernie Morrison, the first black child star, a story you should know. Ernest Frederick Morrison was born on December 20th, 1912 in New Orleans, Louisiana, to actor Ernest Morrison Sr., while his mother's identity is relatively unknown. He is the brother of fellow performers Florence Morrison and screen actress Dorothy Morrison. At the time of his birth, Ernest Sr. was working as a chef in LA, presumably looking for roles as an actor as well. The family that Ernest was working for had connections in Hollywood, and that is how Ernest got his son's career started. One day, while working on a film, the producers asked Ernest Sr. to bring his son to set, and he delivered perfectly. Due to him not crying during the filmmaking, he was nicknamed Sunshine, while the Sammy part of his name came from his father. This is the moment his career was born. Not too long after, his child acting career would pick up steam and he began to create his impressive filmography. In an article from Black Past, it is stated that his first credited movie role came in the 1916 film The Soul of Child at the age of 3. According to IMDb, his next major work would come in 2 silent reel films starring Harold Lloyd and Snub Pollard, 2 of the biggest comedians during this time. This further catapulted Ernie's fame and gave him even more favor with casting directors and industry professionals. In 1919, his immense talent led him to being the first black actor to be signed to a long-term contract when he signed with movie producer/executive Hal Roach. Obviously, this is considered groundbreaking because Ernie's contract set a new standard for other black actors and actresses to receive the same opportunities, thus helping usher in the new African-American talent that would come in the following decades. Not to mention he was 7 years old at the time. Ernie's next project was the series Our Gang. When speaking of his experience working on the show, Morrison stated, "The picture business was great. Our gang, we all got along. No problems. And when we weren't working, we were playing. And when we were working, we were playing." Hal Roach, Harold Lloyd, Bob McGowan, they didn't make it a job. They made it fun. It was a beautiful childhood. Further elaborating on his experiences on set, Morrison claimed that Hal Roach and his family were colorblind and didn't care about the race of the person as long as they were talented enough to get the job done. In the years between 1917 and 1922, Morrison appeared in numerous short films alongside fellow famous child actor Marie Osborne, produced by Harold Lloyd in New York. These include the shorts Captain Kiddo, Daddy's Girl, and Dolly's Vacation. Morrison's immense talent prompted Hal Roach to conceptualize and produce a show centered all around Ernie, entitled The Sunshine Sammy series. The show would never officially air, but the concept would later become the shorts that became known as The Little Rascals. His first episode in the series was in the short One Terrible Day, in which he debuted his signature character of Booker T. Bacon. Morrison's value as a child actor was high, as there were not many talented black young actors, especially in the eyes of white industry professionals. This is reflected by his alleged salary at the time. An excerpt from Black Past states, Morrison made his debut as Booker T. Bacon in the 1922 debut short of the series called One Terrible Day. As the oldest member of the main cast, Morrison was paid $10,000 a year, making him the highest paid black actor in Hollywood at the time. He filmed 28 episodes and remained with the show until 1924 when he was 12 years old. The fact that a young child was the highest grossing black actor at one point in time shows the level of exclusion blacks face in the industry, while also highlighting how little adult black actors were getting paid compared to their white counterparts. Morrison would go on to film 28 episodes of the show, solidifying his place in Hollywood even more. As previously stated, Morrison was sharing the screen with some of the biggest names in Hollywood, from the likes of Snub Pollard and Marie Moschini. After his time on the show ended, Morrison chose to take a break from Hollywood and embrace the New York vaudeville lifestyle. While performing, Morrison would perform with some of the most popular acts of that time, similar to his Hollywood career. One of the premier acts of the time, the Step Brothers, was a black stage and dance group, and they were the biggest reason Morrison stepped away from Hollywood to pursue stage work, as they offered him a job. He would tour and do live performances for the next 16 years, gaining experience on the stage market while continuing to hone and sharpen his acting and performance skills. During this time, Morrison would find love at the relatively young age of 22 in 1934. According to the previous mentioned Black Past article, he married Annette McAbee. Ultimately, however, the marriage wouldn't last long, as the two were divorced in 1936. In 1940, after returning from an Australian tour with Sleepy Williams, Morrison would make his return to the silver screen in one of his best-known projects, The Dead End/East Side Kids, where he played the character of Scruno. From 1940 to 1943, he would act in this show along with working with the Step Brothers again in 1943. In 1944, Morrison's conventional entertainment career was put on hold as he was drafted to work for the Army in World War II as the troops' entertainment. He regularly performed as a singer, dancer, and comedian for the troops stationed in the South Pacific. In a 1989 interview, he spoke of him also being a surprise sergeant while serving in the military, having the responsibilities of being the supply sergeant and the first sergeant, among other jobs. Upon his return to the States in 1945, Morrison had grown fatigued with the world of acting in Hollywood and made the decision to quit in order to pursue other career opportunities. Due to his fame as a child star, there were plenty of acting opportunities waiting for Morrison, but he would turn down all of them. The show, The Bowery Boys, was in the beginning stages of production when casting reached out to Morrison. Morrison would decline and later spawned a quote in reference to the show saying, "I didn't like the setup." He also had articulated many times that he enjoyed his time making movies, but felt he had no desire to continue in the industry. Many have wondered what caused Morrison to leave the entertainment industry despite making so much money and being the most sought-after black talent at the time. It could be theorized that working as a child actor interfered with other interests Morrison may have had. Therefore, he decided to step away to pursue other dreams. Upon entering the new phase of his life in the mid-late 40s, Morrison found work and interest in the aviation airplane industry. Initially, he had interest in working in military defense plants, which presumably led to his interest in aviation and aerodynamics. Morrison left show business and ended up working for an aircraft plant making parts for aircraft, or perhaps missile work, apparently doing very well financially. With this, it's definitely seen Morrison's time in the military greatly inspired his next career phase. In 1945, he got a job as a quality control inspector working for an aerospace company in Compton, California, where he would work for the 17 years before retiring in 1972. In 1974, Morrison would make his grand return to TV with appearances in episodes of the classic shows Good Times and The Jeffersons. He would not be noted in another media project until he played himself in the TV show Passion and Memory in 1986. His final screen appearance came in a TV episode of American Masters, Harold Lloyd, the Third Genius, in 1989, where he once again played himself. Later this year, Morrison would pass away from cancer complications in Linwood, California, at the age of 76. Child actors have some of the most unique experiences in the world, being that they are children with steady careers, something that a lot of adults struggle to find. Some are able to navigate better than others, but being exposed to fame and resources at such a young age can have negative effects, as we've seen with more than a few child stars experiencing some of the same mental health issues. By all accounts, Morrison seemed to have made a smooth transition from his acting career without any traumatic events to speak of. Ernie Morrison was a one-of-a-kind child talent with God-given ability to charm audiences all around the world with his performances. An industry pioneer whose excellence on screen helped pave the way for other notable black child actors and actresses in the future. For Comedy Hype News, I'm Ramil Thompson.